Hi there. If you've ever opened Blender and thought, what on earth is going on here? I can't learn this, this is too complicated, you're in the right place. I'm Eddie, I'm a professional 3D designer, and I've put together what's probably one of the most complete step-by-step Blender courses on YouTube. It's over 35 hours long with 70 plus lessons, all designed to take things slowly and clearly and without the confusion. I'm not going to rush you, I'm not going to skip steps, and I'm definitely not going to leave you pausing every 5 seconds thinking, wait, what did he just say? We'll keep things simple, really simple. So if other tutorials have felt too fast or overwhelming, please stick around. We're going to learn Blender together by creating this classic Land Rover and environment. Hello and welcome back to lecture 81. And in this lecture, let's have a go at doing this grab handle which runs the full length of the bulkhead on the front here, or just stopping shy by maybe 20 centimeters. So let's have a go at doing that. This shouldn't be too tricky. So the first thing is, let's grab the bulkhead and let's tap into edit mode on that one. And let's press 2 so we can select edges. Grab this edge here, press Shift S and cursor to the selected. And then we can tap out of edit mode on the bulkhead. So let's bring in an item to start making this end piece here. So let's press Shift A and let's bring in a plane. Let's just hit S and scale this down. And let's play around with this. So let's scale this down some more in the X, so SX, and bring this down to about that width, something like that. And let's rotate that in the X, RX, 90, enter. And now let's scale that down in the Z. So I'll press S and Z and bring that down to something like that, I'd say. Let's actually take it over a little bit to about there, like that. And now let's tap into edit mode on this one. Let's grab this top edge here, press Ctrl R and bring in a loop. Put that maybe about there, like that. Let's press 1 now so we can grab an edge, a vertice, and then pull this vertice back a little bit, like that. That's cool. And then let's press 3 again so we can select faces. Grab the 2 faces and press E for extrude and Y and bring that forward to put some thickness in this. And there we go, that's cool. Okay, let's press 3 so I can select faces again. Grab this one here, press E and Y and bring this out like this. That's cool. And once we got that there like that, let's press 3 on the numpad now so we can see it from the side view. And let's actually take this up and bring it out like this. Take it up a little bit till we get something like that, I'd say. Let's actually scale this down in the X now, in the Z now. So we'll press S and Z and bring this down. Just something like that. And press 3 again on the numpad. And let's press R and rotate this. And then hit S and scale this down again some more. To something like this. And then hit R and rotate it some more. There we go. That's cool. Let's just hit S again and X now and just scale it up a little bit more on the width, just to bring it back after the scaling. And there we go. That's what we want. Okay, the next thing I want to do is press 2 so we can select some edges. Grab this edge here, grab this edge here, and press Ctrl B and bevel it. And actually it's not beveling to the center, and that's because the scale's out. So let's press Escape, and while those edges still selected, let's tap out of edit mode and press Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale. And then hit the tab key again, and then press Ctrl B, and we'll bevel again. And there we go, now it's working. And I'll scroll the mouse wheel until I get something like that. So I've got 5 segments. That's cool. That's just what we want. Okay, let's do the same here now. We'll grab this one here. I'll hold Shift and select this one too, and press Ctrl B and bevel those 2. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, let's tap out of edit mode on that one. See what we got. And I'm not happy. I need to rotate that a little bit, I think. So I'm going to actually back move a little bit. I'm going to press Ctrl Z until I've lost that bevel. And I'm going to press 3 so I can select a face, grab that face there, and press R, X, and just turn that slightly more like this. And maybe that's better. And I'll press 2 so I can select edges again. I'll grab this edge here, and hold Shift, grab this edge here, and I'll press Ctrl B, and I'll try for a bevel again. And that looks better this time. Yep, that's better. That's what I want. Okay, so let's tap out of edit mode and check the scale and rotation, and they're fine. So let's go for a bevel modifier. Let's see what we get. Let's add maybe 2 zeros to this. And see what we get. And maybe add 1 more segment. And yep, I'm happy with that. So let's accept that. I will apply that, and I'll do a shade auto smooth. And there we go. That's our plates done. So now let's put some bolts on that. So I'll make some copies from this one. So I'll tap into edit mode on this. And I'll press 3 on the keyboard to select faces, grab this face here, and I'll hold Shift and grab the face of the washer too. And now I'll hold down Control and hold down plus until all the faces of those 2 items are selected. Now I'll press Shift E and press Y and bring a copy back like this. And I'll press P and separate by selection. There we go, that's cool. Let's tap out of edit mode now and grab this item. Maybe I'll just grab this one too. And I'll hit the / key on the numpad to isolate those 2. Press Ctrl 1 to get an orthographic view of the rear. Okay, let's do a rotate on that and just square that up a little bit. There we go. And let's right click on it and set the origin to the geometry. And now let's press X and rotate that round. I'll hold Control and snap that to the 90. The -90 in this case. There we go. Let's bring that over and bring that down. And I'll press Shift D and Z and bring another copy down. That's cool. Let's see where they're at. Grab both of these now. And I'll press 3. I'll press Control 3, I'm sorry. And I'll bring those back until they're on the plate like that. There we go. That's cool. Let's grab all those items and press Ctrl J to join them together. And let's hit the / key to bring everything back. Let's select the bulkhead and press Shift S. And we'll put cursor to the selected. And now we'll click on this item, right click and set the origin to the 3D cursor. Okay, so let's make a copy and put it on the other side. So we'll press Shift D and we'll right click twice and we will mirror to the X axis. There we go. That's cool. Okay, so now let's have a look at this item. Let's tap on this one again and tap into edit mode. And let's select this face here and we'll press Shift S and cursor to the selected. And let's tap out of edit mode and then press Shift A. And let's go ahead and make a cylinder. The vertices, I'll keep at 18 and I'll hit S and I'll scale this down. I'll rotate it in the Y axis. And I'll just type 90, enter. I'll hit S and I'll scale it down some more. And just line this up with that plate. That's cool. Let's bring this over now in the X-axis. Now let's tap into edit mode, grab this face here, and let's pull that face over to the opposite side. That's what we want, that's cool. Let's actually shade auto smooth on that. And there we go, that's done. So let's go ahead and join them all together now. So I'll grab this one, hold shift, grab this one, and this one. I'll press Ctrl J and join them all together. And that's our plate all finished. That's cool. So I'll do a quick save. So I'll press Ctrl S. And I'll see you all in the next lecture. Thanks very much. So I just want to take a sec to talk about my website. If you're enjoying this tutorial and you like my take it steady, keep it simple approach, then why not head over to my website. There you can explore a range of courses I've created, including architectural visualizations and animation courses for Blender, or interior design courses learning to make photorealistic renders and animations specifically for Blender. If you're interested in learning AutoCAD, the most popular 2D design software in the industry, I've got you covered with a comprehensive course on that too. Plus, you'll get sneak peeks of upcoming courses so you can stay ahead of the game. To check it out, just click on the link in the description below and don't forget to use the discount code 20OFF to get, you've guessed it, 20% off all my courses. So now, let's get back to the tutorial. Thanks very much. Okay, hello and welcome to lecture 82. And in this lecture, let's see what we can do with this little thing here, which is, I think it's called the windscreen stay or something like that. It's basically a little bracket or a little mechanism to hold the windscreen in position. I don't think when we do this, we're going to do something like this, but we won't be absolutely faithful to this. We'll just do a representation of it, which will look more than effective when we actually render it. So let's just see what we can do with this. Okay, so let's first of all, let's bring in a cube. So let's press Shift A and bring in a cube. And let's take this over to some fresh air. I think this, again, we'll model this away from the Land Rover, and when we've got it to a point that we're happy with it, we'll scale it down and we'll bring it in. So let's go ahead and scale that down a bit. And let's press 3 on the numpad to bring this into the orthographic view. And now bring this down onto the y-axis. There we go. Okay, let's tap into edit mode. And let's grab this top edge and bring that down now in the Z. And let's type A for all. And now let's also scale it down in the X. So SX. And bring it down to something like that. Okay, let's press 2 on the keyboard so we can grab edges, and then grab this edge, and this edge, this edge, and this edge. And let's actually go ahead and reset the scale. So let's tab out of edit mode, press Ctrl A, and apply rotation and scale. And now let's tab back into edit mode again, press Ctrl B, and bevel those edges. I'm going to reduce the vertices a bit to something like that. Yeah, that's cool. I've got 5 segments there. I'll press 3, I'll grab this face and I'll take it down a little bit more to reduce its overall thickness. Okay, so that's got that backing plate that we see there. So now let's go ahead and work on this main component, this like lever here, and see what we can do with that. So I'll grab this plate here and I'll press Shift S and I'll bring the cursor over. That's close enough. I'll tap out of edit mode on that and I'll press Shift A and I'll bring in a cube and I'll scale it down. And I'll take it over on the y-axis and I'll take it up a bit. And I think I'll do an overall scale down. Maybe now scale it down a little bit in the Z-axis, so SZ. Maybe bring it down again there. And yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is tap into edit mode on this one. And I'll press 2 so I can select edges. Grab this edge here and press Ctrl R. Bring in a loop that way. And I'll do the same here now too. Ctrl R and bring a loop in. I'll press 3 so I can select faces, and I'll grab this face and I'll press 3 on the numpad to get an orthographic view. And actually I'm going to just press Ctrl 3 to see it from this side, just because I'm right-handed and somehow that feels easier for me. And I'll press E to extrude it. And then bring this out to about here. Maybe bring it up a bit. And I'll press E. And I'll extrude it. I'll bring it up a bit. And I just need to get this sort of cranked shape that we see here on this now. And I'll press E. And I'll bring it out. And I'll take it up. And I'll carry on doing this. E. And E. And E, and bring it out some more. And I think I'm going to head and rotate that one a bit. No? There we go. And I'll press E, and then bring this one out. And rotate this one. Take it down a bit. And I'll press E, and bring that in there like that. Hit R and rotate it a bit. E again. And rotate it a bit. And I'll press E and bring this down and rotate it a bit. And there we go. That should be cool. Okay. Admittedly, doesn't look much like that right now, but we'll keep working it and see what happens. So let's grab this end here now and let's turn on proportionate editing. And let's hit S. And just remember to scroll the mouse wheel to make this selection ring either bigger or smaller. And I'll start around there and see how it looks. And I think I'll expand on that. And then I'm going to bring that down until we get something like that. That's cool. I think that's kind of the shape that I'm after. Could tweak these around a little bit. I think I will. So I'll press 2 so I can select edges. I'll hold Alt and I'll grab this one. I'll turn off proportionate editing again now. And I'll bring this one up. I'll press 3 so I can get a side-on view of this. And I'm just going to tweak these around until I'm a bit happier with this. Hold Alt and select this one, take it up some. Hold Alt and select this one and take it up some. And yeah, just keep on tweaking these until you're happy. I'm going to rotate that one. And maybe take that up a bit as well. And I'll hold Alt and grab this one and take that up. Rotate it a bit. Maybe this one now. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, once you're happy with this shape, and actually I think I'm just going to grab this face here now and just take that one down a bit as well. Yeah, once you're happy with the shape, press 2, and let's select that edge there, press Ctrl R, and add an extra, maybe 2 control loops in there. And yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's tap out of edit mode on this. Let's check the scale, and it's out, so I'll press Ctrl A, apply rotation and scale. Then I'm going to add a subdivision surface modifier to it and see what we get. Increase this to 2. And yeah, that's a pretty cool shape actually. That's cool. Let's try for shade auto smooth on this. And yeah, that works just fine. That's the kind of shape that I see there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And once we've got those two items, maybe I'll take this up a little bit closer to the top. And maybe also, let's just grab this one and let's apply a... Actually, before we go ahead and apply a bevel, let's tap into edit mode on this one, press 3 and grab this face here and delete it. Just to reduce the mesh a little. Let's tap out of edit mode and then let's go ahead and put a bevel on that too. Let's increase the zeros. Let's try 1 0 and see what we get. And yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'll just increase the segments to 2. And there we go. Let's apply that. And shade auto smooth. There we go. That's cool. That's a good start. Okay, let's grab both these items now and press Ctrl J to join them. And let's press 3 on the numpad to get an orthographic side view. And let's go ahead and bring this back now. I think I need to rotate that on the Z axis. So I'll press RZ, 180, enter. And then I'll press 3 on the numpad again. And I'll hit R and I'll rotate this. I'll hold Control to make sure it snaps to 90. And then I'll bring this in, hit S and scale it down. Bring it in again. And take it towards the dash. Alright, let's see what we've got and how it looks. Let's bring this over in the X. And drop this about there. And take it in on the Y. And how's that? Is the scale correct? No, that's too big. I'll hit S and I'll scale it down a little bit more. And see how that looks. And yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's about right. Maybe I'll take it up a little bit. And then yeah, I'll leave that just like that. Okay, after we've done that, let's tap into edit mode. And let's go ahead and grab a face kind of central to this face. You know, it's kind of middle to this area. And we'll press Shift S and we'll press cursor for selected. Let's tap out of edit mode on that. And let's go ahead now and bring in a plane. So Shift A and mesh and plane. Let's rotate that in the y-axis. So RY, 90, enter. Let's hit S and just bring this right down. I'm going to press 3 so I can see it from the side. And I'm going to scale this down in the Y. And take that up maybe. Until it's something like that. Maybe scale it up a tiny bit more in the Z. So SZ, take it up a bit more. And yeah, I think that's cool. Okay, I'm going to tap into edit mode on that. Press 2 so I can select edges. Grab that edge there and press Ctrl R. And put a loop in. Then I'm going to grab this loop and I'm going to pull it over quite a bit to something like that, I'd say, to put an angle in this piece. Okay, I'm going to hide the windscreen for a while. And I think the next thing I'm going to do with that is press 3. And I'm going to put some thickness in this. So let's extrude that in the X, so E and X, and bring that out to get a bit of thickness in it. Okay, let's fix the scale on this. So let's have a look and press Ctrl A. And apply rotation and scale. Let's tap back into edit mode again. And let's press 2 so we can select edges. grab this edge here, grab this edge here, and right click and dissolve those edges. And then let's grab this one here, and then this one here. Press Ctrl B and bevel those edges. Maybe increase the vertex count, maybe, yeah, 6 should be good. And then there we go. Okay, let's grab this edge here now. And let's hold shift and grab this bottom edge here. Get to a bit of a side view on it. And press S and Z and bring those in. And maybe while you've still got them selected, take them back as well. Maybe I'll just scale this down a bit more on the Z again. So S and Z. And then take them back again. And yeah, that looks about right. Okay, I'll press Ctrl B while I've still got them. And I'll bevel those as well. Just something like that, maybe. And then I'll grab these two out edges here. This one here. Hold shift and grab this one here. Press Ctrl B and bevel those as well. And see what we got. And yeah, that's cool. That's the kind of shape that I was after. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's tap out of edit mode on that. And let's look at the scale, and it's still good. So let's add a bevel modifier to this one. And I'll increase the 0. Let's try 1 first and see what that looks like. And yeah, let's put 2 zeros in there. And see what that's like. And yeah, I think I'll leave that just like that, but I'll increase the segments to 2, but leave that at 0, 0, 0, 1. So I'll apply that. And I'll shade auto smooth. That's actually put a line in there, as you can see. So let's see what we can do with that. So I'll tap back into edit mode. Press 3 so I can select faces, and I'll grab this one. I'll hit I, and I'll insert. Then I'll hit I again, and insert again. There we go. That's it. Do the same on the opposite side. I and insert. And I and insert again. Okay, let's tap back out of edit mode. And yeah, let's clean that up. Okay, let's actually just grab this now and kind of centralize this. There we go. And with that like that, and looking good, let's actually press Shift D and X and take a copy over to the opposite side. Put that into position, and yeah, that's cool. And now that we've got those, let's press Shift A and let's bring in a cylinder. And I'll increase those to about 18, and I'll hit S and I'll scale that down. I'll rotate that in the Y axis, so RY, 90, enter. And I'll hit S and I'll scale this down. And now I'll scale it up in the X, so SX, and scale this up. And I'll carry on scaling that up, SX, and take that over and put it in position. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, actually, while we've got that one, let's clean the scale up on that. So Control A, apply rotation and scale, and we can do a shade auto smooth, and let's put a bevel on it too. Add a 0, add 2 zeros maybe, and yeah, that will do just fine. Increase the segments to 2, and go ahead and apply that. Center that a bit more. And now I'll press 3 on the numpad to get an orthographic view. I'll grab this one, I'll press Shift D, and I'll bring a copy up to the top there like that. And while I've still got hold of it, I'll press Shift S, and I'll say cursor to the selected. There we go. Okay, let's bring in something else. So let's bring in another cylinder. So let's press Shift A and mesh and cylinder. And I'll leave the I'll up the vertices to 20, and I'll hit S and I'll scale that down. I'll rotate that in the y-axis, so RY 900, enter. And let's go ahead and scale that down. And yeah, that's cool. That's kind of what we want. Let's tap into edit mode on that one now. And let's grab that face there. And then we'll hold control and grab maybe that face there. Let's extrude that now in the y-axis, so EY, and bring that out. Grab this face and just pull it up a little bit to just make that look a bit neater. And pull this one down a little bit too. There we go. Let's now grab these faces here. So we'll hold control and go down to there. And I'm going to press S, Y, 0, just to flatten that out. There we go. And maybe pull that in a little bit more. And then I'm going to press X and I'm going to delete those faces. Cool. That's cool. Okay, now that we've done that, let's tap out of edit mode on that one. Let's look at the scale. Let's fix it. So Control A and apply rotation and scale. And let's add a bevel modifier to that as well. And actually, let's leave that rather big bevel on them, but increase the segments to 3. Let's do a shade auto smooth. And yeah, that's great. That's worked a treat. Let's bring the windscreen back and see if everything's correct. And yeah, that's that. We do actually look like it needs to just maybe rotate that down a little bit at that point. So let's press RX and just bring that down until that's in there like that. And that's cool. That's worked an absolute treat. The only last thing to do is it kind of looks like this lever is kind of floating in midair. So what we could do is just grab this one and press 3 on the numpad to get an orthographic view, and press Shift D and bring a copy down. And maybe rotate it a bit. And hit S and scale that down quite a bit. Just to give the impression that there's something there that it's mounted on, or something, I don't know what, but gives the effect anyway. All right, let's join all this together. So let's grab this and this one. Oops, not the bulkhead. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And let's press Control J and join them all together. And we could actually too just grab that bolt. So let's tap into edit mode on the bulkhead on this grab bar. Grab this bolt here, press Control plus, and maybe the washer too. Hold Shift, grab a face of the washer, Control plus to grab all that, and press Shift D and X and bring one out. You bring that back into here like this, take it back a little bit, and centralize it. Maybe scale it down a tiny bit. And there we go, that's fine. Let's tap out of edit mode on that. No. Let's tap back in again and then grab this one and this one. Expand our selection with Control plus. Press P and separate by selection. And tap out of edit mode again. Now grab this one and press Control J. Okay, that's cool. So one last thing to do. Let's actually grab this bulkhead and let's press Shift S and bring the cursor to the selected. And then let's grab this one again and right click and set the origin to the 3D cursor. And let's press Shift D, right click twice and mirror to the X. And there we go. Let's see what it looks like on that side. Okay, they look super cool. I'm really pleased with them. It's a really nice detail. And when they're covered in a galvanized material, they'll look great. Okay, that was a long lecture, I must admit. Quite an epic, but I think it was worth it. We got a lot done. Okay, so in the next one, we're going to start the steering wheel, which is, I think, a real milestone in the vehicle. When we get that steering wheel in, it's going to start to feel really good. All right, thanks very much, and I'll see you all in the next lecture. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to see more tutorials just like this, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you can get notified when new content drops. You can also check out my channel for more episodes of this series, or you can head over to my website to explore my full range of courses. Okay, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.